Hey there, keepers. How you doing? I think the question that I get asked more than any other is how do I become a lighthouse keeper like you? Well, in this video, we're going to talk about exactly just that. Some of the things you must have before becoming a lighthouse keeper, and some of the things you need to consider about being a lighthouse keeper. Stick around, we got lots to talk about. My name is Spence, and I am a modern day lighthouse keeper.
Lighthouse Keeper is part of Canadian Coast Guard. It's a unionized work and it's part of a Public Service Alliance Canada under a federal government. To be a Lighthouse Keeper, you must be a Canadian citizen or a Canadian permanent resident. Unfortunately, the government doesn't provide a work permit or a visa. Part of the requirements is you must know how to speak English or French. In the West Coast, we are using English.
So an item that you must have before you even apply is your Marine Radio Operator Certificate. This certificate enables you to use any form of marine radio, VHF or UHF. All marine communications done in a marine environment must be done by a certified individual. You can get certified through Canada Power and Sail. They have many courses over many different times in many different cities. You just need to schedule yourself for one of their courses and then get yourself certified. All marine communication could mean anything like from us to a boat, from us to a helicopter, or even us to another landmass like MCTS when we report our weathers. Anything that we do on station, we do have a radio on us at all times so that we're monitoring all the emergency channels and anything that might come up. We monitor the radio 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So having a radio on you at all times is just something that you just have to get used to.
Every lighthouse keeper must have a valid first aid certificate with transportation and no exception. Why? Because when something goes wrong, you will be the first responder. If a mariner arrives injured or your partner gets hurt, you will be the one giving aid. If your station becomes a base of operation during an emergency, you are expected to act confidently and competently. This is not optional, it is part of the job. There are always two keepers on site for a reason. If one has an accident, either fall, injury, or illness, the other must be ready to take action. That means knowing how to use your first aid training in real scenarios, not just on paper.
So living in isolation can have a serious toll on your mental health. When you're a light keeper, you live on site 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. That means you can't go out for a coffee. You can't go out for a slush. You can't get your snack at the McDonald's whenever you feel like it. You are on site at all times. And the only way that you're allowed off site, or the only way that you can get off site, is via a helicopter. And that's a really big deal. Trying to find somebody who can come and replace you because you can't leave the station unattended has many consequences to it. So Isolation can really take its toll on you. I've had people come on site and they say, no problem, I can deal with isolation, no worries. And then after 2 weeks, they're going squirrely. They didn't seem to understand that living in town is a really different way of living. So part of what it means to be living in isolation means you have limited Wi-Fi. As a matter of fact, some stations don't have any Wi-Fi at all, and you have to get yourself some form of a satellite system or something so that you can even have access to internet. Cellular is not available at all sites either. Some sites do have a satellite telephone that they can use in emergency situations, but just getting regular calls can be very difficult. They do have access to what they call an Allen system, which somebody can call you over the VHF radio, but that's a party line, which means everybody else on the stations, all the other stations, can listen into your phone call. Not necessarily something that you feel super comfortable doing when other people are listening in. So another thing to really consider is your groceries. You do only get groceries once a month. And so you really need to know how you cook your meals, how much food you eat in a month, and all these kind of things. You really need to think about this before you're on site. And especially if you're doing any relief work or anything like that, you need to bring all that food with you whenever you go out. And the last thing to really kind of think about when it comes to isolation is pets. Everybody loves their pets, and it's nice to have your pets with you when you're on site. The thing is, there's a lot to consider when it comes to pets. You have to be able to bring your pet with you on a helicopter. You can't really bring pets with you until you've become established on a station. And even if you are on a station, you are working with another person. And if that person has allergies or has other considerations that have to do with pets, then maybe pets might not be allowed with you. All pet requests do have to go through management, so it's not just a guarantee that you're going to be able to bring your pet with you.
Living and working in a lighthouse usually means remote conditions. You're far from the hospitals, clinics, and even pharmacies. So having a good health is essential. Before you can take up a post, you'll have to pass a government-mandated health screening. This exam checks for both physical and mental fitness. Health issues that requires regular medical attentions will have huge complications. Medical evacs are expensive and sometimes cost can be directed to you.
So a lot of the work that we do end up having to do is just maintenance. We have lots of stairs that sometimes need repair. We have to do a lot of lawn mowing and trimming and maintaining the bushes and shrubs. Sometimes we got to paint. We paint houses, or we might have to paint our boat deck. There's a lot of things that we have to do by way of maintenance. And when it comes to maintenance, it means that there's a lot of small engines on site. And because they're not things that we can just send out to get cleaned up or get maintenance, it's all maintenance that we have to do ourselves. So being able to work on small engines is actually quite beneficial. If you've ever done an oil change on a car, then that helps go towards having to do an oil change on a diesel generator. A lot of the process is very similar. So having the knowledge of small engines or even bigger engines is actually super beneficial to the job. Also along the lines of small engines is power tools. Having to use a drill or skill saw or anything along those lines is really beneficial to the job. There's a lot of times that you have to do maintenance on something, cut some wood, drill something together, put screws in. These are all things that if you have the knowledge to do, it helps you in the long run. So there you go, some of the things you need to think about wanting to become a modern day lighthouse keeper. Do you feel that this is what you're looking for and you match this criteria? Then feel free to hit me up. If you know somebody who might be interested, then feel free to share this video with them. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked what you watched, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you want to know more about what it's like to be a modern day lighthouse keeper, and hit that bell notification so you're notified when I upload new videos. Thank you so much for watching this video, and we'll see you next time.